I'm Desire Gomez, and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with Desi. Now, I'm going to give a rather quick intro to this because I bet some of you are just dying to get to the next chapter of Metal Plague. And to start off the episode, I just want to say we have activated listener support so that way we can get a bit of income coming into the podcast or from the podcast. And that way we can start investing in newer equipment and better softwares to help bring better audio and better quality stories to you and many others. Now, to get to the mainly good part of the story, or episode I should say, let's get right into it with Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Extra, Extra. As hours pass by, I'm drawn forth to the depths of my mind over the revelation that I have unmasked. For the majority of my young and now teenage years, I was raised in a small orphanage in the small town of Helston. Everyone knew everything, and everyone in it was near to impossible to keep gossip from spreading. But to now believe that aspects of my daily life and the people I've grown to know as the only family have been a part of something unspeakable. No, it's nonsense. They could never do that to children in the orphanage. But yet again, the head mistress is not exactly known for her caring heart. Among the children in the orphanage where I reside, the head mistress is mostly identified for her cold scowl and her hatred for children. For all I know, from the whispers that I heard from the previous day, it wouldn't be totally out of the question that the headmistress used wherever she received in the deliveries to pamper up her own life than trying to better the lives of the orphans. Wandering through my thoughts and trying to piece together the puzzle, I'm interrupted by the shouts of Gilbert.
Hugo! Hugo!
Gilbert shouted, cupping his hands around his mouth, emphasizing the sound of his voice. Alerted by the shouts, I'm forced to look up from the carton of eggs in my arms, tracking a black coat and following the intimidating man in front of me. His face was covered in a thick brown beard, and his hair was covered by a small top hat. Sorry, sir. Excuse me. Moving my way around the awkward situation, as I look behind me to pinpoint Gilbert's location, on the brick sidewalk, I see Gilbert receiving his bag of groceries from the ground. After a moment of remembrance, I recall that the mistresses had tasked two of the older orphans to go out and collect the weekly groceries. I had voluntarily asked if Gilbert and I could go to run the errand. I had taken this opportunity to get away from the orphanage after my discovery, and I found it the best as I could indulge my thoughts to the only person I trust in that horrid place, away from prying ears and eyes, from those who wish us to not know about this little secret.
That was a close one, Hugo. You could have smashed eggs.
Sorry, Gil. I guess I was distracted.
Well, I suppose everything is alright, since no one got hurt. So I think this errand was excellent.
Gilbert, please don't try to dumb down my intelligence with those idiotic egg puns. Gilbert let out a small
Chuckle.
as his smile brightens his face. Turning to see Gilbert and his brightening smile, I suppose I too couldn't help but let it light my face to smile. But the sun was soon covered with darkened clouds. Gilbert, have you ever heard the mistresses talk about something you didn't understand? or notice anything odd about the other children. Slowing down his pace, Gilbert turns his eyes to face me, bearing a look of confusion and concern.
Well, I have noticed that some children have gone missing from the orphanage recently.
Turning away, his head faces the brick sidewalk, watching as he steps on each stone, separately with each foot. Hesitantly, my first wife been dreading to tell my only friend that our lives are in danger. Gilbert, what if I told you that not all seem well in the orphanage? I heard, no, saw some things that I shouldn't have. My voice wavers as I try to explain what happened. Gilbert swiftly turns to look at me, and his face tells me that he suspects something, but does not want to admit whatever it is. Gil, I think that the head mistress is selling orphans. Pausing for a response, Gilbert's face tells me a story of horror and fright, as a tale of his close friends are being sold like livestock.
No, that can't be true, Hugo. You're messing with me, right? Hey, I gave back your journal, didn't I? You can stop the act now.
Giving me a cracked smile, he denies the truth I have bequeathed onto him. Not saying nothing, I turn my eyes away and look towards the shop across the street. In the corner of my left eye, I could see Gil's smile turn into a frown of disbelief. I'm sorry. Gil, I wish I could say otherwise, but the pieces already showed me the puzzle. Baffled by this information, Gilbert stumbled backwards, finding the right words to say back to me.
Well, if they were selling orphans, do you have any proof?
Gilbert protested. In shock, I spun my head around to face him and muttered, "No, but that's what you're going to help me with." I snapped back, straightening my spine, raising up taller in front of Gilbert, my eyes cold and still.
What? Hugo, how do we even know if this is true? What if the missing just got adopted and we didn't know?
He retorted. Before having the chance to respond, he heard the shouting of the casual newsletter boy. "Extra, extra! Children go missing from countryside orphanage. Kidnapper on the loose!" He shouted, waving newspapers in the air and handing one to an elderly man. "Is that proof for you? It's not just our orphanage. It's happening all over the country!" I shouted. After hearing my words, Gilbert becomes silent in defeat. Seeing my friend defeated, I take a deep breath and say, "Gil, I'm sorry for shouting, but I need your help. I think we could find the evidence that we need in the headmistress' office." Explaining my plan, Gilbert raises his head and points out a flaw in my plan.
But how will we even get in? Surely someone will hear you if we try to break the lock.
He remarks. Stunned, I slowly realize that I don't have a plan to distract the headmistress from the office.
Come on, Hugo. We've taken longer as it is. We need to head back before we cause any suspicion.
Nudging my shoulder with his, he directs me to move forward. Following like a sheep to his shepherd, I follow Gilbert back to the orphanage. trying to concoct a plan to distract the mistress from the office provided to be the tedious task. Start a fight with one of the children? No, they would just send a few mistresses, not all of them. Flood the washrooms? No, they would just send one to find the culprit. A fire? No, we're just trying to distract them for at least an hour or two, not destroy the orphanage. Baffled, I finally pulled myself from thought and back to reality. Defeated, I recognized the area that we walked into. We're almost home. Can I call it home? It's the only home I've known for years now, but it doesn't feel right after what I discovered. While walking, I feel a watery sensation on my nose. Looking up, I see the dark clouds circling above us. Grinning, I come up with the plan that we needed. Hey Gilbert, I call out. Catching his attention, he stops in front of me and responds.
What happened, Hugo?
Confused, he looks up to the sky, same as me. Hearing a gasp next to my ear, I know that Gilbert understands my intentions. Gilbert, I think we found our distraction. Alright, and that's the end of chapter 2 of Metal Plague. I hope you have enjoyed for now. And I hope that you'll continue to listen in on the story. And I hope that you are actually enjoying the story. We are working as hard as we can to provide the best entertainment quality to you, as we are beginners. We're not professionals at this, if this isn't evidence enough. But before we sign off, I also want to mention that we now have a Patreon account. So if you want to get benefits from 3 different tier options, ranging from $3 to $9, you could get recognition, or in this case, a shout out at the end of an episode. You could get bloopers. You're going to get early access. And you're also going to get some digital copies of the story in case you want to do a little read along or you just want to have some quality reading time. So if you want to check it out, you just go to www.patreon.com/storytimewithdesi. Now, we don't expect a lot to sign up, but we hope maybe a few will, just to give us a little boost. I am Desi, and this is Storytime with Desi. Thank you for joining us. Bye.